The ultimate downfall of the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, when you were in the relationship with the narcissist, usually what you heard was I, me. You rarely, if ever, heard we, or us. You see, the narcissist diverted your attention away from where it should have been onto them. And they used you as a pawn, as a pauper, as an indentured servant, as the sounding board, as the walking billboard for them, advertising for them, covering up for them, making excuses for them, patching up an irreparable relationship, doing everything you possibly could do to stay in that relationship. Remember, you were in a cycle. The cycle of the narcissistic abusive relationship, or cycle, is the first part's the love bomb / euphoric stage. That's when you're being love bombed with fake everything, and you're believing in the mask, and you're believing that that other person could be your soulmate or the yin to your yang or a good person. Second part is when they have their dirty fangs sunken into you. That's the devaluation stage, which is the longest part of the relationship. It's the greatest length of the relationship. Third part is the ending of the relationship, and the fourth part is a hoover. Remember, do not ever accept a hoover. Become unhooverable. Get off the radar of the narcissist. But when you were hearing I, me, this is what the narcissist was trying to do. They're trying to brainwash you. They were trying to lather you up into doing things for them. And the narcissist you're considering, it could be your sister, your brother, could be your parent, could be your romantic relationship, could be your coworker, your boss, your neighbor, your roommate, your teacher, could be your classmate, could be anybody. But whoever you're considering, they usually would be talking about themselves and what you could or should or would do for them. Example, say the narcissist was your classmate and they needed a ride to school, or they needed some extra money for lunch, or they needed you to study for them or do the homework, whatever it was. Well, did you do it? Probably you did. Was there anything in it for you? No, there probably wasn't, but you didn't know that back then because you weren't taught this in school. How could you realize that toxicity has two legs and it walks and talks just like you? You couldn't, which was why you were an open book. You were an empath. You probably still have a very high level of empathy, and eventually you will become the educated empath, which is who I've become. That's a person who maintains their empathy, but now understands and can read the tea leaves quite well, and we have boundaries and we maintain our boundaries. But going back in time when you were with the narcissist, when they were telling you I, me, or perhaps they would be saying you, meaning you didn't do enough, you should have done more, you could have done more, you would have done more, or if you didn't do this, I wouldn't have done that. You see, the narcissist can't be accountable. They can never sit down, ever. Never, not one time. If you go back to the length of that relationship when you were with that toxic person, they could never sit down with you, talk with you like an adult and say, you know what, you're right. I should have done some things there. I should have helped us out, but I didn't. No, they're going to blame it on you. So 3 of the main reasons for the ultimate downfall of the narcissist, and this is not a coincidence, that they all begin with the letter, yes, you guessed it, I. They are these. The first one is this. The narcissist is impulsive. You probably haven't thought about that in quite a while. Think about all the impulsive decisions that the narcissist made throughout that relationship. Think of all the plans that you made that were changed at the last minute. Think of all the different things the narcissist would do impulsively. Why do you think they did those things? And I'll give you many illustrations right now, but why do you think they did those? The reason they were impulsive is because, 1, they have no originality to them. Number 2, they try to learn or mimic what other people are doing. And number 3, the narcissist changes directions on a dime. Whatever is new and shiny, or whatever gives them supply or makes them feel good, or wherever the new supply sources are, that's what they will do, which is why the narcissist is impulsive. I'm going to take this on a side note for a quick moment. If you had ever heard the term impulse shopping or impulse buy, think about this. When you're in the grocery store and you're buying your items, say your food for the day or the week, and then you're in the checkout aisle and there's these overpriced small little things that would be in the aisle to get your attention, things you don't need, like a $3 candy bar or a $5 pack of gum or something. Well, you don't need it, but it's sitting there, and while you're waiting, you're looking around because you're trying to occupy your time, and you're like, oh, I'll just grab that. Next thing you know, your bill goes up. Well, that's an impulse shop. That's why the food stores do it that way, and other stores do it as well. It's impulsive. Well, this is how the narcissist lives their life. They're impulsive every way possible. Think about when you were in the relationship with them in the very beginning. The narcissist made so many quick, irrational decisions. They were impulsive, and these decisions never benefited you. Example, let's say that you guys had plans to go on vacation someplace. Well, what would they be doing? They'd be doing whatever they wanted to do as long as it was on your dime. But they would change those plans whenever they thought something better would come around. So example again, say you went away for a week somewhere. Well, most likely you were paying for it, more ways than one, not just financially. But when you would have plans with them, let's say you had breakfast every morning at 9 o'clock. Well, it was paid for by the hotel, etc., free breakfast, whatever it was. Well, many times they'd say, no, I don't want to do that. I heard this other place is better. We have to go there. And you'd be scratching your head saying, but I just paid $3,000 for this vacation. Breakfast is included. It's a 5-star restaurant or whatever it is, and it's for free. We already paid for it. But they couldn't have that, could they? No. Why? Because they probably overheard somebody in the lobby when you were checking in that there's a fancier restaurant or a different restaurant around the corner that maybe is more expensive. Maybe it's less expensive. I can't tell you. But they wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to do what already came with the hotel bill. That's one example. Another way, when you're in the relationship, think of how quickly the narcissist moved to get you trapped in that narcissistic relationship or the narcissistic fog. They move quickly. Why did they do that? Well, number one is because they figured out that you were who you were. Number two, they realized that you didn't know who they were. Number three, they realized that they could take advantage of you. And number four, they were probably trying to get away from the old source of supply for whatever reason. They probably already milked that person dry, and they're trying to lather you up and monkey branch to you. This is what these people do. I'm talking about the narcissist. This is why nobody gets out unscathed. This is why the narcissist is loyal to nobody. And this is why when you were trying to make plans with them, they would be so impulsive, because they didn't care about you and them. They cared about I, me. This is what the narcissist does. The next one will be the next letter I of the three, and maybe I'll throw a fourth one in here, is irresponsible. The narcissist is the king or queen of irresponsibility. They make some of the poorest decisions of anybody you've ever met. They make some of the most irrational decisions of anybody you've ever met. The narcissist needs direction. They don't have direction without somebody guiding them and steering them and telling them what they should do or how they can improve this, or if they just do this one thing, it would be better. Because the narcissist is a lost ship in the middle of an ocean of abuse, looking for a fuel source to catapult them or to take them from one island of abuse to the next island. That's what they did with you. That's what they did with me. They burned us up, and they used up every bit of fuel source that we had, which is your energy and your time, money, love, everything about it. And once they took whatever they could from you, well, then they crumbled you up like a sheet of paper, discarded you, and then got a new person, because they were impulsive and they were irrational and they were irresponsible. They didn't care about you. They only cared about what you provided for them. So think about what I'm sharing. With the narcissist, it was always I, me. There wasn't we. There couldn't be. And in the beginning, when you were being love bombed, of course, we could grow older, we could have kids, we could go into a business together, we could buy the beach property, we could do this, we could have the grandkids. Well, that all fades away once the newness of the relationship that you were a part of wears off. And that's when the narcissist really begins to rear their ugly head and show you who they are. But you didn't know this, you weren't taught this in school. So I've talked about irresponsible, and I've talked about irrational a little bit, which I'll jump on in a minute, and impulsive. The irresponsible and irrational part, think about what the narcissist does. They don't think things through. They live in the moment. They don't live for the present moment. They live in the moment. So whatever they deem to be better than whatever they're doing in the moment, if something comes along better, they will drop whatever they're doing to go do what they think is going to benefit them, not you, them. This is why your plans would be blown up. This is why birthdays weren't celebrated. This is why you never got gifts for Christmas or for your birthday or events. This is why your promotions weren't celebrated. This is why you never got the time of day when you were with the narcissist, because they didn't care about you. They cared about themselves. And the less attention they paid to you, the more you wanted their attention. The more you wanted their attention, the less they gave it to you. The less they gave it to you, the more the mask slipped. The more the mask slipped, the less that you would be having boundaries and standing up for yourself. Meaning, You didn't know that narcissism existed, and you were looking for a little breadcrumb of anything to hold on to. Remember I shared with you earlier, the narcissistic abusive cycle, the love bomb part. You were always trying to get back there because you didn't know that the relationship you were in was unfixable and it was irreparable. You didn't realize that that was all nothing but a sham, a fraud. It was nothing but a house of cards. It was nothing but a relationship built on quicksand, and that the narcissist knew that that relationship had an expiration date. You're understanding that now, and now you know that the narcissist's favorite letter in the alphabet, yes, it is the letter I. It's I, me. I need. You have to do this for me. I can't do anything for you. I will do whatever I want to do, and you have to tolerate it. These people, i.e. the narcissists, again, I'm saying the letter I, they know what they're doing. If you think for a moment they don't know what they're doing, you really, really need to think again. They wear the same clothes you wear. They breathe the same air. They have access to the same educational levels. They have access to the same smartphones and airplanes and cars and everything you have. What do they do, though? They take shortcuts. They do not innovate. They isolate. See the theme here with the eyes? And no, there's no script here. This is me free-flowing like I always do in the Carolina woods. And no, I won't get poison ivy again. They isolate people. Isolation is one of their key ingredients. When they isolate you from your support system, when they isolate you from your belief system, when they isolate you from your hope, when they isolate you from your purpose, from your money, from your health, from your hobbies, from everything you love to do, well, now you become, or became in the past, subservient to them, and you're looking for a little breadcrumb of anything. You're looking for anything from them to be nice to you. Now, every once in a while, they would be fake nice to you. And the reason they would be fake nice to you is A, because they needed something from you, or B, they most likely just got topped up with supply from somebody else, and they were coming back, and because they couldn't contain themselves, because these people can't regulate themselves, they would be on cloud nine and super happy, and they'd be really on top of the world, and you'd be saying, wow, this person's in a great mood. I haven't seen this in 3 months. I better take advantage of it. What should I do? And then there you go again. You're trying to appease them. You're trying to please them. You're trying to pamper them. You're trying to be there for them. And that moment, or that period of time, let's say it lasted, you were thinking it was going to last the whole weekend because the narcissist came home Friday night at 8 o'clock after they just cheated on you with your best friend, and they claimed that they were stuck at work, but they were all on top of the world, and you were like, whoa, it's going to be a good weekend. This is great. Well, you didn't realize, A, they just cheated on you. B, you didn't realize they just got something which is called supply. But C, you were holding your breath thinking, maybe we can make it through Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. Maybe we can have a good weekend here. And what would happen every once in a blue moon? You would have a good weekend. But then again, as sure as the sun rises tomorrow, Monday morning would come around and boom, the mask drops, the supply, not that you gave them, but that the person they were cheating with on you, that supply wore off, and they became complacent with you, and they took you for granted, and they're like, wow, this is the same thing again. There's no thrill. There's nothing here. I've already beaten this person down, and I'm love bombing them, but I can't do that any longer. I don't have to wear this mask. Now, these are all tough pills to swallow, but it's what the narcissist does, because you never get stability. You never get growth. You never get commitment. You never get honesty. There is no integrity. There's zero love. There's zero empathy. And there is no we. You may have thought that there was we. Let's say that you did marry the narcissist. Well, when you walked down the aisle or whatever you did, whatever ceremony you had, you were probably really excited because, wow, you finally found somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life together. And they were probably looking at you, although you couldn't tell it back then, but their pupils were probably swelled up with supply the size of the moon, because they're now saying, oh my gosh, I'm 10 minutes away from getting built-in supply. This will be husband or wife number 3. Oh my gosh, this is just too easy. I'm getting really good at this. But then they'd look at you and they'd be performing for the audience and the priest or whatever pastor it was, and everything would be good, and they were getting supply from everybody. Keyword supply for this part. But what would they do? Well, as soon as the guests left, the wedding cake was cut and everybody was gone. Now they had you. Now that ring on your finger didn't mean what you thought it meant. It meant that now you were going to be doing things for them. And you would have to say, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. May I have another? This is why you became the unpaid helper. This is why you became the indentured servant, and more and more and more. And this is why the narcissists did their best to burn you out, because this is what they do. So I talked about the 3 things, the eyes that the narcissist, the downfall, the ultimate downfall of the narcissist. I already shared with you what 3 of them are, maybe even 4. Before I close the video, I'll just let you know a couple things. Right now, wherever the narcissist is, if they're still living, they're blowing up whatever relationship they're a part of. Doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friend. It could be a person at the grocery store. It could be a person in traffic. It could be the person that they just got a promotion with at the job. It could be the person that they just played pickleball with. It could be the person that they just bumped into at the grocery store. Who knows what's going on? But the narcissist is always shape-shifting. They're wearing multiple masks. They're performing for different size audiences. Sometimes it's an audience of one. Sometimes it's an audience of many. Sometimes it's an audience of few. But the narcissist is always performing. That's why these people are loyal to nobody. That's why their number one letter in the alphabet for the narcissist, you didn't know this before 15 minutes and 50 seconds ago, but now you know it. It's the letter I. They need the letter I. Me. This is what they do. And once they get a sniff or once they get a whiff that somebody's catching on to who they are, they disappear. They're gone. They will try to punish those people, perhaps discard them, blame them, call them the narcissist, say that they never did anything for the narcissist. But this is the narcissist, one of their many defense mechanisms, because they can't introspect. It would be a monumental narcissistic injury for the narcissist to actually have to look in the mirror without a smartphone, without anybody around, and say, oh my gosh, I really am toxic. Oh my gosh, I really did destroy so many lives. Oh my gosh, I can't love. Oh my gosh, I have no empathy. Oh my gosh, I am jealous of everybody. Oh my gosh, I am anxiety riddled. Oh my gosh, I have nothing going for me. All I have are people on invisible strings and leashes that are doing things for me. There's no originality to me. I'm a pitiful human being. They're not going to do that. So don't think for a minute they're going to. And again, before I close the video, because I will close it in a moment, don't think the narcissist can change. Don't think that miraculously there's going to be a we. The narcissist will bounce all over the globe to wherever doors are open for them, so people can do whatever those people do for them, provide a house, give them money, pay their way, buy them clothes, whatever they have to do, give them a job, which the narcissist won't even keep. But once the narcissist burns these people out, they have to go somewhere else. And this is what the narcissist does. This is why the narcissist is a master manipulator, a shapeshifter. They're a magician on a stage for one, performing for an audience of many. And that's why the narcissist's favorite letter in the English language is the letter I, because it's all about I, me. And you never did anything to lift a finger to help them out. That's what they're going to tell you. That's why once you get the wisdom, you have to go no contact, block them, delete them, get off the radar of them, and leave them in the past and heal properly. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. A couple quick things. There are 26 letters in the English language. This year is what year? That's right. It's 2026. You need to understand there's no such thing as a coincidence on this planet. Everything happens for a reason. Everything. When you really understand that you were in that narcissistic relationship for a day, a week, a year, a month, a decade, or your whole life until right now, you need to understand you are either out or you are getting out. The narcissist won't change. They will continue to paint the narrative however they want to, and they will continue to be self-serving, and they will continue to do whatever they have to do to get whatever they want at the expense of everybody else. That's why you need to close the chapter of the book on the narcissist forever. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.